2, we're looking at describing the transformation, so we're going back. So we're trying to figure out how we go from picking one image, doesn't matter, you can start with a small one or a big one, whatever. How do I go from this image to this one over here, right? How do I transform it? So I'm describing how it's moving. Okay, so first thing we want to do is we want to figure out, okay, is it rotating at all? Is it moving at all? And so we talked about in the last video about going over the y-axis or the x-axis. Well, there's also a rotation about the origin, spinning 180 degrees, okay, about the origin. And so that's usually written down as r rotating about the origin, and it's 180 degrees and about the origin. So that O right there stands for the origin. And so what you can do here, you can just get another piece of paper or a sticky note and draw one of them, and then hold your pencil down right here and then rotate that and see if it rotates 180 degrees. So 180 degrees is a straight line, right? So usually what happens when it rotates 180 degrees is, see how we have this point R and it is 1, 1. So we have that point 1, 1. When we rotate it 180 degrees, then it should land at -1, -1. But we see that it doesn't because it also has a dilation, right? We go from small to big. So it is going to rotate along that, right? And then we can go ahead and do our dilation after that. So it is going to rotate 180 degrees. So we rotate each one 180 degrees, which is really just changing the x value and the y value. So r prime would be -1, -1. S prime would be this point right here is at 1, 3. So make both of those, switch the signs on both of those. That's rotating 180 degrees. It's just switching both signs. And then T prime. So T prime is 3, 1. So that would be 3, so -3, and then 1, so -1. Okay, so basically it's kind of like, right, let's do a different color here. So, oops, right there. And right here. So basically it looks like that when I do that first rotation 180 degrees. And then I want to figure out the scale factor. Well, I can just combine the sides, or not combine the sides, but see the distance along here. So from 1 to 3, -3, -1 to -3 is a distance of 2, right? And this distance is the distance from -2 to -6, so a distance of 4. So we can compare these two sides and we see how much, what do I need to multiply 2 by to get to 4? That'd be 2, right? So we know the scale factor is going to be 2. So we know the dilation is going to be 2 that I'm going to apply to this. So I want to apply to that for each one of these. So this one was a rotation of 180 degrees about the origin. Now I'm going to do a dilation of 2. So we can say R double prime, or really, which is Z, is going multiplying by 2. So -2, -2. Then S double prime would be -2, -6. And then T prime, double prime, multiply that by 2. Both of those by 2, you get -6 and -2. And then we can see, if I erase some stuff here, that P right here is -2, -2. So that goes with P, right? And then Z is -6, -2. -6, -2, that would be T double prime. And then our last one right here is -2, -6, which is the same as S. So we can describe our translation as having a rotation of 180 degrees and then a dilation of 2. So it has dilation with scale factor of 2. So this is my right here, a rotation of 180 degrees. You can write it like this, about the origin, and then a dilation of 2. Okay, or you can say that in words. So that's pretty much how this goes. So there is problem number 2. Here's the one that you're supposed to do. So it doesn't matter which one you start with. You can start with a small one. All right, if I'm going from big to small, my dilation would be a fraction, right, less than 1. Or if I'm going from small to big, then it would be a number bigger than 1, right? But first you want to figure out how you are going to rotate it, how you might rotate this so it kind of lands on the same side, and then how can you dilate it. Uh, I mean, this one you'd be okay too if you dilated it first. Just compare this length to this length to find your scale factor, and then do that. So then you're going to have new points or whatever, and then go ahead and flip that. And is it going to flip over the X or the Y, or is it going to rotate, right? Flipping over the Y is just changing the X value. Flipping over the X is just changing the Y value. Rotating 180 degrees is changing X and Y. And taking the opposite of those. Okay, and there's for 2.